People are absolutely disgusting. Why didn't you show any concern after he was shot to death? You just walked away from Charlie after he was shot and never looked back. The truth will come out. You were in on it. People like Baron Coleman here, they think they're just having fun. They're just having a good time. He's grinning, laughing. He's having a good time. Talks about how much fun he's having. Does that look like fun? Does that look like fun? Getting people worked up into a fucking hysteria to where they're just attacking people on the internet? Innocent people like this kid? All of the conspiracy theorists have their new #1 target on their hit list. And that's Mikey McCoy. He's the guy now. He's the one everybody's looking at. All because he reacted in a way that they think is suspicious. He did something they didn't like. I'm going to play for you the video just showing his initial reaction. I'm also going to show you some videos of Mikey. I'm going to show you some videos of Frank Turek talking about Mikey. We're going to build a little bit of a character profile for Mikey McCoy in case you guys aren't familiar with this kid. Not going to spend a lot of time on it, but just a little bit, just to give you a taste, to give you an idea of who this kid is. And then we're going to take a look at what some of these conspiracy theorists are saying about this kid. Okay, so right here is Mikey McCoy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and watch this at full speed, and then I'm going to slow it down a little bit so you can kind of take a look. Turns and walks, and then you'll see him walking right here. Okay, we're going to go back, play that full speed again. I don't have the volume on just because I just don't want to. But when the shot goes off, you will see him flinch. You see him jump? Same thing with the guy next to him in the blue shirt. They both flinch. And if you'll notice, Mikey's got his hands. He's got his phone in his right hand, and he's got it tucked right here, kind of in his armpit. He's got the other arm like this. Soon as that bullet goes off, they flinch, and Mikey's first response, from what it looks like here, is that he puts his hands up over his ears. See the flinch? And then both hands go up. And you even see him walking away, and it looks like he has both of his hands up over his ears. Before we go on to more video, I just want to bring to light, in case you guys haven't seen it, what people are saying about this kid. That they can't believe he would be like Charlie's best friend, and he would just walk away from his best friend being shot. I've had a few arguments with people about this, and the funny thing is I ask them a very simple question. What was he supposed to do? And I would ask you guys that. What was he supposed to do in that situation? I don't think Mikey's a medic. I don't think he has any training whatsoever in how to care for somebody that's just been shot. Mikey's well aware that Charlie has a security team. I have a theory, and it's a pretty simple one. What was he doing? I think he was getting out of the way because he's not sure if there's a mass shooter, or he's just getting out of the way because he just seen Charlie get shot. He knows that they're going to have to try to get him to a hospital, and he's going to go and do what he thinks he's supposed to do, and that's start contacting everybody he can to let them know what the hell is going on. And why do I think that? Because we have Erica Kirk saying at 12:23, Mikey called her. Erica, Charlie's wife, has publicly said that Mikey called her. I'm pretty sure she even specifically said at 12:23 or 12:24. We have Mikey's dad saying that he called him. I have no idea how many more people Mikey called, but that would make sense to me. What the hell is he going to do? What's he supposed to do? He's supposed to just stand there in shock? Get in the way? If it were me and I had no medical training, I can tell you what I would have done in that situation. I would have got the fuck out of the way and let the professional team do what they're supposed to do. I wouldn't want to be the one that causes a delay in them trying to treat Charlie Kirk, which leads to his death. I wouldn't want that on my conscience. I would want to get the fuck out of the way and make sure that they are able to do what they need to do. And Mikey's not the only one that leaves. Everybody's standing over there. who's not part of his security, bails out. Okay, we watched that. Let's see what Baron Coleman here has to say about all this.
His Tom Selleck button. He was texting his broad. Not anymore. Serious as a heart attack now. But watch.
So he's going through this, right? And you guys can go check his video out if you want to. But he's going through this, and he is putting so much speculation on this. It's actually insane. He thinks he knows. He's coming up with ideas of what this guy's texting to somebody. He's coming up with this Mikey and, well, I forget this guy's name, Dan or something, maybe, that they're communicating and they're signaling to each other when the shot's going to be taken. Like, he is throwing so much speculation on here. It's criminal. Let's
so
keep
Mikey
going.
you saw Mikey text something. See
Oh, yeah.
that?
You could definitely see that. You guys see that? You can see him text something.
Mikey gets the phone out, does something with the phone. Good, look in on Mikey there. Puts the phone back under his arm.
Couldn't just be looking at the phone. He's definitely doing something.
Dan to look down.
Causes Dan to look down as if, like, how are you getting that out of this, dude? This is crazy.
Causes Dan to look left. You see that? I'll blow this up in a second, but I want you to get the whole angle so you can, because, you know, some people are going to key in on this van over here that opened up, and I don't think that, I'm not a believer in the van quite yet. I can be convinced. Now, Dan's looking at Mikey, but Mikey's looking at us. So I'm going to roll it forward. Mikey finally turns to Dan.
How does he know that Dan is looking at Mikey? Dan might be looking in that direction. How does he know he's looking at Mikey?
Just cocked his head enough that they're now looking at each other.
Does that look like they're looking at each other? Does that look like they're looking at each other? To me, it looks like Dan is looking over in this direction here. And it looks like Mikey's kind of looking over in this direction here. But if you listen to Baron, they're definitely looking at each other because he could tell. I can't tell, but he can tell.
Look at that.
Yeah, he also thinks tea bags are microchips and explosives, but we'll get to that in a second.
Looking right over at him. And now Dan steps forward and gives the baseball signal.
And there it is, baseball signal. Baseball signal. It's not just throwing that arm out to pop that sleeve up so his bicep shows off a little bit more, because that's not common with dudes. It's baseball signal. Signaling to who? You're going to signal to the shooter on the roof for what? For why? Pretty sure the guy who's on the roof getting ready to shoot Charlie Kirk doesn't need a signal from you when he's like, what are we signaling?
And look where Mikey's looking. Look where Mikey's looking. So let me, if I can zoom in on this. Oh, it's not letting me. Well, that's a shame. Oh, let's zoom in a little bit. So I'll go back through this sequence again. Mikey's looking down at his phone. Don't worry about Dan right now. Don't worry about Dan. Focus all your attention right here on Mikey.
Okay.
All your attention on Mikey right here.
Looking at his phone. Yep.
He's looking at his phone.
Weird. Hey guys, it's crazy, man. This is a Gen Z kid looking at his phone. Super
he puts
sus.
the phone away. You see that?
Super sus.
And he looks to his right. Mikey is looking to his right. Again, don't worry about Dan yet. Now look at Dan. Dan senses something and looks down.
We also know that Dan is standing on a platform. Dan very well, just a thought, could be just checking how close he is to the edge. If he's moving a little bit, if he's kind of doing some things, he's probably going to want to just look down at that platform that he's standing on and make sure he's got enough clearance. He's not going to tip over or fall over. Just a thought.
Right at Mikey. Mikey's looking towards us. Now, he could be looking past Mikey at something over here.
Yeah.
That could be.
He absolutely could be. He is security. This guy right here, his other part of security, is sure looking at something over in that direction. Oh, his security right here, they're definitely looking over something over here. So somebody shouted something. Something's happening. Something grabbed their attention. We've got 2 of his security, if not 3, looking in this direction. But we're not going to talk about those guys. We just want you to focus on Mikey looking out this way and Dan apparently looking at Mikey because I don't know.
Somebody giving a signal. It could be somebody burped. And it has nothing to, we could be over analyzing the biggest series of coincidences in mankind.
You have to really listen to the words that they use. Somehow, these are the biggest coincidences in mankind.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. That doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. That's how I open the show. The only way you can know is to test everything, look at everything, read everything, find everything.
At what cost? At what cost, Baron? These are things people are not considering. And I'm going to show you what the cost is. And then I'm also going to explain you what the cost could end up being.
But when you think you see somebody send a text, which causes somebody to look down at their watch and then look left at them, and then that person looks right, and then when they make eye contact, he steps forward and touches his arm, and the next half second, somebody dies, it ought to be examined, and it ought to be examined well. That's why you came here. So now Dan's looking at Mikey. Mikey's not looking back. Now Mikey looks back. Boom. Once they look, that's the moment right there. See that? That's the moment. They see each other.
I don't even think they're looking at each other, Baron. Sure looks like Dan is looking out this way.
And now he steps forward and he gives the signal. And I'm telling you, less than 1 second after he touches his arm, Charlie Kirk has left this mortal coil.
Gives the signal for what, dude? Why would a shooter need to be signaled? And if he's giving the signal right here, right? Let's go back to this video. If he's giving this signal and that signal means a shot needs to go off, why the fuck does Dan look so surprised when Charlie shot? Here's Dan. There's the signal. He looks awfully shocked, doesn't he? Surprised, really surprised that somebody just got shot for giving a signal to go ahead and shoot him. That look like a flinch to you? It looks like a flinch. Giving a signal to the shooter, but super shocked when it actually happens.
Now, is this definitive proof that Mikey McCoy and Dan Flood were both in on it? No. Is it interesting to look at? I mean, is it evidence that something might have? Yeah.
No, it's not.
Should we look at these things? Yeah. The people who are telling you Tyler Robinson confessed, you're hurting the family. They're liars. They're liars.
Liars. Liars. It's in the charging documents. In the charging documents. It's in the text message. But oh no, the text messages are fake because that's what the prosecution would do. They would falsify evidence and then put it into the charging documents. Absolutely. Totally standard. Yep, no. People like me, people like you guys, you're liars.
They're liars. You're not hurting
liars. You are absolutely hurting the family, and I'm going to show you how they are hurting the family. 100%.
You're not hurting the family. If anyone in my family is ever slain in broad daylight like that, and you don't look into it, I assume you don't love me. I assume you don't love me.
There is a fine line between looking into it and pushing conspiracy theories. These guys have all completely hopped over that line. They aren't looking into it. Just watch.
If there's enough weirdness going on around it.
Weirdness for who? Who's the judge of the weirdness, Baron? You? You the one that says that's weird? Because to me, that's not all that weird. 23-year-old kid who's from all I can tell, is a super Christian kid who loved Charlie Kirk. Just seen what could be one of his closest friends shot in the neck. And you guys are, you're attacking him or accusing him or finding him suspicious because he didn't want to stand there and look at that because he turned away and got out of that area and immediately got on the phone and called Charlie's wife. That means he's suspicious. That's weird to you. Why is that weird?
All right, so here's this video. Let's see if I can make it big enough. You're going to be looking out here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to blow this. This looks good on my giant monitor. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. That's Mikey right there. See him? Does anyone not see Mikey? That's him right there.
Why do you suppose Mikey would be that far away? Just take a guess. Before I lead you in a direction, just think to yourself. Why would Mikey be that far away? Why would he be back there? Sure sounds like there's a whole lot of noise going on. Sounds like there's a lot of screaming. Sounds like there's a lot of panicking going on. Maybe he decided to just walk and keep walking to get further away from the noise so he can communicate better with the people that are on the phone. If he's on the phone right now with Erica or his dad, I'm sure he's just trying to get away from the area and get out of the noise so he can communicate with them and let them know what the hell is going on. Seems like a pretty reasonable thing, right? Pretty reasonable explanation, pretty plausible.
Now watch. I'm going to roll this. See him? He's not running. He's just walking. But he's walking quickly because now he's out of sight. So it wasn't a run.
Why would he run? He's supposed to be running, but all of these people right here who aren't moving, it's suspicious that he's walking away. Right, but it's not suspicious that everybody's just chilling right here. Somebody was just shot. They're being carried off. Mikey getting out of the way and going back here is suspicious, but these people not moving at all isn't suspicious in these guys' brain. I don't think any of this is suspicious. I think everybody is going to react differently to a scenario like that. You're going to have some people that move right away. You're going to have some people that kind of lock and freeze. You're going to have people that dive down. You're going to have other people looking around. Like you're going to have all different kinds of reactions because there's all different kinds of people there.
I'll roll it at a little slower pace here. So you saw Mikey there. That's him in the background. Black backpack, long sleeve white shirt, dark slacks, white hat. No one else in the audience that way that day. These people are still on the ground. That's how soon it is.
Mm-hmm.
They are shoving Charlie Kirk into the van, into the SUV. That's Mikey back there. And watch he's just moseying off into the distance. See that? May have even looked like he stopped for a second. Now, here's my question. I saw Mikey arrive. You know how I saw him? He was videoing it.
This is good.
He was videoing it. Someone else in the car was videoing it, and they caught Mikey in the mirror. So if you saw Mikey arrive, and I saw Mikey arrive, and he's in Charlie Kirk's car, where's he going? Where's he going? What is behind there? What is behind the Hall of Flags? That's where...
What is behind there? Was he in Charlie Kirk's car? If he was in Charlie Kirk's car, where was Charlie Kirk's car parked? Maybe let's go back and watch the video of them arriving. Yeah, let's do that.
Where they were arrested. Let's go.
See where they're pulling in here? We'll back it up a little bit. So I'm going to help you guys out. Okay, so right here at this point, they are driving right down this path, right here.
Let's go.
We've got a couple of white trucks here. We've got the van. SUV behind the van.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful.
What else do we have?
Look at that.
Tape right here. Sealed off.
Just give him a little taste.
Now they drove by right here. We know the SUV is here. This is where they get into and they leave after Charlie's been shot. They kept driving and drove this way and parked over here. But there's other vehicles there already. So who are those? Probably part of TPUSA's staff, right? So do you think that Mikey wouldn't be able to hop in another vehicle with these people and head to the hospital? I don't understand what point he's trying to make. Where was he? Where was he going? I don't know. Just getting out of the way. Just seen as a good friend of his get shot right in front of his eyes. There's a really solid chance that he's having a bit of a scatterbrain moment and is just going off of instinct and doing what he thought he should be doing, which is making phone calls, and is probably just moving to move. That's a solid possibility. I don't know how many of you guys have ever experienced any type of traumatic event, but your brain kind of goes blank. Anxiety kicks in to just automatically go to, I'm going to push this as a conspiracy that he needs to be questioned. It needs to have his life completely ripped apart online because I don't like how he's reacting. It's just insane. I really want you guys to listen to where he goes with this. Okay.
This is his mentor of 6 years, his best friend. He was at his wedding. If you look at his wife's Instagram, it's like all it is right now is Charlie Kirk memorials. You just watched him. I don't even know what you could possibly know in that half a second before you turned and walked away, but you just watched him gunned down. Everybody.
I'm going to stop it right there. What could he have possibly known? What could he have possibly known? I know this is blurred out. But right there, the fluids are pouring out of Charlie. And Mikey is still looking towards Charlie. Or he's at least, body is still aimed out this way. So even if he glances over for a split second, let's just say right there, I think Mikey can see all that he needs to see. I think Mikey's seeing all more than he would ever want to see.
Everybody else ran to help.
No, everybody else didn't run to help. His security team ran to help.
Where you're going. Like you're walking to a car, I guess. But whose car? Who was out there waiting on you? How did you get home? Did you go to the hospital?
Listen to this.
How did you get there? Who did you ride with? Where did you leave from? Who were you texting from the facility, from before Charlie Kirk got shot? Who were you texting? What app services were you using? Were you only using Instant Messenger or Instant Message or whatever that's called? iMessage? Were you using WhatsApp or Signal or any of these other encrypted services? Were you using Facebook Messenger? Instagram? Did you call anyone? Who did you call first? Did you call more than one person? In what order? How long did you talk to each of them? Because they both claim you called them in the first minute. 2 people claim you called them in the first minute. Independently. So which one did you call first? Like, these are normal questions. This is not
normal.
Me being
totally normal questions. Totally normal. For who? Not for your average Joe Schmo dude on the fucking internet. Normal questions for who, dude? How long has it been? You don't think that they asked him that shit? I would assume that they were all questioned. And I'm guessing they were all very cooperative.
Harsh on Mikey. This is not being cruel to the family. This is not me.
And furthermore, Baron, it's really none of your fucking business. It's really not any of ours business. Really. Mikey McCoy is under absolutely no obligation to tell you or anybody else shit. And the way that people are going about it, if I were Mikey McCoy, I wouldn't even bother. Wouldn't even bother.
What did you look? When you looked to the right, do you remember what you were looking at? Who are you talking to stage on stage left, right before the shot? Who were those people? Who was in the blue shirt? Did you park a car and then jump in the SUV and make that like 100-foot ride with Charlie and get out? Is that the only time? Or were you in the car from the hotel or wherever the airport, wherever you came from? When did you leave? Did you leave that day or the next day? Who did you talk to? Where'd you go? I mean, I think these are regular questions.
Regular.
Like, someone's in a
totally regular questions.
Imagine we had an interview with someone who was on the rail next to Martin Luther King.
That's not an interview, dude. That's an interrogation.
I've not seen anyone ask him any of these questions. Why did your dad say you were blood soaked? Had blood all over you?
Now this part, I don't know. Cause I don't know. I can't tell if he's saying that Mikey was covered in blood or if Charlie was covered in blood. Cause as soon as he mentions covered in blood, he goes right to talking about Frank Turek, but it was right after he was talking about Mikey. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying here necessarily.
But as I was thinking about this,
with 100% certainty either way. So
I stepped in it because as a father, I want to protect my son. And I thought, I got a plan for you, son. He said, Dad, that's not Charlie's plan. And you know what? I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old. Justin's the CFO, chief financial officer, and Mikey's the chief of staff. And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray. I said, okay, son. He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him. And Frank Turek. I want to address.
I don't know. I can definitely see why people think that he said that Mikey had blood all over him. I get that. But just the way he's kind of misspeaking and he's sort of losing his train of thought there, jumping from one thing to the next like that. I'm not going to go 100% either way on anything with that. Not that I think it's very fucking relevant anyway.
Why? Did you tell him you had blood all over you? And hey, if you did, that's fine. Sometimes we get carried away. Sometimes our stories aren't 100% true.
That's a fair point, actually. I'll give Baron that. It very well, it could have been a, what would you call it? Sort of a break in communication. It could have been Mikey saying there was blood all over, or he had blood all over his shirt, and his dad, maybe it was noisy, maybe he couldn't hear clearly enough. He thought it was Mikey saying that Mikey's got blood all over his shirt. That's fair.
That's fine, but you understand this is an international story, and we need this clarified. Yeah, I just told my dad that because I didn't want him to think I walked away. I was scared. Okay, good.
Or his dad just misheard him, misunderstood. Like that's definitely possible too. That was the Sunday afterwards. I can't imagine that they were going through super specifics in conversations. Traumatic event, a few days later. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I mean, that's not what Baron is saying here. Baron is saying that like Mikey embellished it to sound crazier. But since he brought that up, okay. Just came up in my head that maybe that makes sense. Maybe the dad just misunderstood what Mikey was saying.
Good. Preserved. We now know your story. But I mean, that's not disrespectful to the family. Nothing we've covered on this program has been disrespectful to the family. I can't speak for every program in America. I can't. But I can assure you, nothing we've covered on this program is disrespectful. Not to the family. It might be disrespectful to foreign governments.
The dude just did a complete breakdown, insinuating that Mikey McCoy should be like a top suspect and needs to be interrogated and have his whole life picked apart that day. But that's not disrespectful, based off of his reaction to Charlie being shot. Because he turned and walked away and made some phone calls to tell everybody that Charlie just got shot. He should have his whole life picked apart. And it's being completely picked apart. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mikey's Instagram while we're at it. Just going to read some of these comments to you guys, and you tell me if you think this is, what's a good word for it? Acceptable. Why did you walk away from Charlie Kirk after he was killed? I just saw a video of you walking away from the scene where Charlie got hit with a bullet and you walking away from the vehicle that carried his body. Why didn't you show any concern after he was shot to death? Hey, why did you just walk off when he got shot? Why didn't you either duck or run over to see if he was okay? Yeah, why didn't you get in the way? Judas, why did you just walk away after the shooting? And yet you and the team of Turning Point have not demanded a deeper investigation like Candace Owens is doing. Why you guys are not questioning everything. What friends? Calmly walking away is very strange behavior. Very strange. Just saw the video of your behavior the moment Charlie was shot within a few feet from you. Very strange. How could you? God knows. I'm here to see how many asked why you did walk away from the scene right after the shot without even checking which part of his body was hit or what his condition was. You walked off nonchalantly, talking on the phone as if updating someone without even seeing what really happened. It gives the vibe that you already knew what was going to happen. How did you know when you turned around and did not run but calmly walked away right after the loud bang? You will never be Charlie Kirk. Are you the Judas? These comments go on and on and on. Should we take a look and see what kind of person Mikey McCoy is?
And when that tragedy struck, Mikey was an absolute hero who kept everybody calm and did some of the most mundane things you would think you would need to do on the worst day of his life. And he continues to be a rock. He's been following Jesus for a long time. I'm hoping that Mikey one day will follow in Charlie's footsteps right to the college campus because he has the ability, the demeanor, the grace, the knowledge to do so. Right now, he's going to be supporting Erica, who is beyond doubt the best choice to succeed Charlie right now. She, as you know, is a warrior for truth. And despite being in great pain, she is moving TPUSA forward, charliekirk.com forward. And Mikey has a big role in that. So, Mikey, I wish we didn't have to do this podcast, but we're going to do it. And I want people to know you. I know they're wondering, how is Mikey McCoy holding up? I mean, you were just at the White House yesterday. I mean, you're out there, Mikey. How are you holding up? Give us an overview.
Thank you for having me on, Frank. I'm doing as best as one can. Everybody is. And just before this program started, Frank prayed. And he goes through every single name of everybody in our office. So if you're looking for a reason of Frank Turek being a great man, look no further than the fact that he pays attention to everybody. But we're all hanging in there. Our whole staff is struggling, but being at the office, being together, talking about the show, running the organization, doing the things that we used to do with Charlie is the only thing really bringing us the most comfort right now. And all of us will laugh because as we're talking and as we're planning events and doing things, we hear Charlie's voice in the back of our head. And I hear this all the time. It's like ingrained in me. Where, even for the memorial, when we were planning the memorial, we were going to do it at Desert Diamond Arena, which holds 20,000 people. And me, Erica, Elizabeth, we all look at each other and we're like, more. Charlie would be telling us, you need more people. There's not enough people. And so,
yeah, no, I believe him. I think this kid is absolutely behind it, 100%. He's definitely in on it. He knew something. People are disgusting, man. People are absolutely disgusting. Why didn't you show any concern after he was shot to death? You just walked away from Charlie after he was shot and never looked back. The truth will come out. You were in on it. People like Baron Coleman here, they think they're just having fun. They're just having a good time. He even says it in this video. Go watch it. I'll push you there. Go give him some views. He's grinning, laughing. He's having a good time. Talks about how much fun he's having. Does that look like fun? Does that look like fun? Getting people worked up into a fucking hysteria to where they're just attacking people on the internet? Innocent people like this kid. He doesn't even tell his audience. I mean, if you were in the chat, the live chat, you should have seen some of the shit people in his live chat were saying. Doesn't even take any type of accountability to be like, listen, guys, we're just talking about this. We're just looking at things. Do not go and attack these people. Do you know when he does do that? After I send a $5 super chat to let him know that the hysteria that you're pushing is probably not a good idea.
Be careful with the kind of hysteria you help create. I'm not going after Mikey. I'm raising questions
Not going after Mikey.
that need to be answered. There is a dead man that was 4 feet to his right, and he walked off. And he's been weird ever since. But he's a weird guy. He's a weird guy. I'm not creating here. Let me get.
Why is he weird? Because he's Christian? Because he's super nice? Why is he weird? How much time have you spent with Mikey McCoy for you to say he's weird? Where are you? What would lead you to believe that Mikey McCoy is a weird guy?
Give you my disclaimer once again. I've given it to you every single show.
I was watching this show. I did not see a disclaimer of any kind. Not saying he hasn't done it in previous shows. I haven't watched his stuff. So I will give him that benefit of the doubt. But I don't recall a disclaimer in this live, and I was watching the entire time. He didn't say anything until I sent in this super chat.
I strongly admonish you, do not contact anyone we discuss. Don't send them emails. Don't send them DMs. Don't send them letters. Please don't cut stuff out and send them. Don't be a psycho. Look, you know why we're able to do this? Because you guys are responsible and respectful. That's it. The moment you guys stop being adults and stop being respectful and stop having this be an elite exchange of ideas among intellectual giants, the moment you stop that and you start
Intellectual giants. Keep that in mind, guys. Intellectual giants.
contacting these people, I'm out. It's no fun at that point.
No fun. It's no fun now. Well, I hate to tell you, Baron, but they're not listening to you. But it's no fun, guys. At that point, it's no fun. Now we can't have any more fun completely ripping fucking people's lives apart. No fun. I will give Baron credit. He did do the disclaimer after I sent in the super chat. Like I said, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I haven't watched his other stuff, so he might do this every show. I don't know. All I can go off of is what I saw, and that was no disclaimer at all. And his chat was going wild with shit.
No fun. This is enjoyable because it is an intellectual exercise about one of the most important news stories that happened in America in 20 years, 25 years.
If you guys want to put on your tinfoil hats, if you want to put on your conspiracy hats, I've got a conspiracy for you. So anybody on the left that watches my videos, sorry, this is probably going to mess you up a little bit, but it's just a conspiracy. That's it. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Who runs Google? Who owns YouTube? What political leaning is most of mainstream media? What political leaning are most of the higher ups at Google and at YouTube? Well, if you guessed on the left, you would be right. What would be in their best interest, you think? They would definitely like the idea of conspiracy theories that pull away from left-wing radical violence. Have you guys noticed how much push these conspiracy YouTube channels get that are completely pulling away from the narrative of left-wing radical violence against Charlie Kirk? Have you noticed that the mainstream media They just don't want to talk about Charlie Kirk anymore. Just not at all. You think that's because they're in cahoots with the feds? Or do you think maybe they just assume that no attention about left-wing radical violence is a good thing? So, I mean, if you want to play the conspiracy game, I haven't heard anybody pushing that conspiracy. Oh, and guess who else the left really hates? Take a guess. I don't mean Democrats. I mean the left. Who else does the left hate? God, wouldn't it be great if there were people pushing a conspiracy in the direction of blaming the people they really hate? I'm just talking here, guys. I don't even know if, I probably just screwed myself on this video. Probably not going to get any push. But it's just a conspiracy. YouTube, I'm just having fun here. This is not serious. This is just a joke. Okay? This is just a joke, YouTube. Nobody's talking about that possibility. Nobody wants to talk about that kind of conspiracy. Okay, let's go back to let's go back to Baron Coleman's intellectual giant comment. You guys ready for this shit? This is fun. This is just a little fun. I do want to say for the record, I feel like all these guys though, this is how I feel about most of these dudes, like Ian, Valhalla, Baron. I feel like I would get along with them. I feel like they would be fun dudes to hang out with. I'm still going to push back. It's one thing to ask questions. It's another thing to push a narrative. And if I find something that you're pushing or that you're trying to question, and it's incredibly obvious to me that you're dead wrong and that I know I'm right, I'm going to say it. My bad. But if I know I'm right and I know you're wrong, then I'm going to say that I'm right and you're wrong and this is why. And I'm going to give you guys an example of that right now, of me being absolutely right and Baron being so incredibly wrong it's embarrassing.
While we wait real quickly, I want to show you one more. This is something that's going to bother people. Not because it's particularly graphic or anything. All right, do you see this right here, this mess of stuff right here? This is garbage. Now, to give you, this is the platform that Dan Flood was standing on. Right here. I'll back it out. This is the platform he was standing on. Charlie was over here on his own little platform. It looks like it's been moved or whatever. But and this is the now that's some blood splatter there. But this is.
You guys watch
that
this.
That is.
You guys ready?
Image there of something. I want to pull up something else and tell me. You tell me if you think this looks like it could be similar. And we might have to go back and forth and compare. I want you to look at that and tell me if it looks a little bit like
his stream did this all night. It just went in and out, crazy pixelated and shit.
This. You see that? This had a white battery or white pack up here. The backside of this, I tried to find a picture that had it all. The backside of this is flat, and this side has all the
intellectual giant, ladies and gentlemen. Intellectual giant.
Computing stuff on it. And then some sort of yellow thing connecting another piece. So let me go back. Keep that in your mind. White, big square, yellow. Big square, yellow. Something else. White, big square, little white, big square, yellow, something else. Because I want to go back and I can post these somewhere so that you can see it. But white, big square, yellow, something else. May not be. But they look the same to me. When I saw that, I thought, what is that?
I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this for you guys really good, all right? Intellectual giant. What does that look like to you guys? What do we see down here? Is that a Starbucks cup? What does Charlie Kirk have to drink? at every event he does. Mint Majesty tea. That look like tea bags to you guys? That's just the still frame of this video. I'm going to pull up a JPEG. Hold on. These would be tea bags. And here would be his lozenges that we know that he always had at these events. I think Baron may want to get his eyes checked. It would probably be a good idea. Baron, if you see this, might want to go get them eyes checked, bud. Charlie drinks Mint Majesty tea. Those are tea bags that he would have pulled out of his tea. These are throat lozenges, candies, something to keep his throat moist. You want to know what the best part is? You know where I got this from? I got these from this Internet Archive, which I'm going to link in the video description. This was in Baron's video. In his description, he linked to this archive. Most of the attention that Baron is getting is from these Google Trend searches, which if you would just go look at Paramount Tactical, I think it's on his Rumble page. You'll have to go that, but he does a pretty good video kind of breaking down how not dependable these Google Trend searches are. But I found something interesting. I just had to ask a question to Baron here while he was doing his live stream, and I was really curious what his answer was going to be. Okay, here's the super chat. So this is a statement that I'm making. And I was really curious as to what his response was going to be to it. And it was pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Bronson, $4.99. Imagine intelligence agencies using a public search engine to find a patsy and plan a conspiracy when they have their own private search engines. I can imagine it. I can imagine it just fine. Because, yes, they have private search engines that are very powerful. They have private databases that are very powerful. The FISA court judge, Rosemary Collier, I can do a show on that. That's a pretty wild show. Rosemary Collier, the FISA judge that was overseeing Crossfire Hurricane, she released a hint of how many private contractors were accessing, presumably, these NSA records. And she told us that this number was in the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of searches on these high-end government databases. But does that mean you won't get lazy one day and you're on your phone and you're like, what was that guy's name?
Get lazy. It's always the answer. Why would intelligence agents, espionage agents, spies, why would they use a public search engine when they have their own private search engines? They got lazy. How many people you think it took to plot and shoot Charlie Kirk one time at UVU on a completely wide open campus? How much planning do you think that required, realistically? And the Google Trends that he's talking about, they were plotting and planning a patsy for, he pulled up Tyler Robinson's Discord name in Google Trend searches, and it pinged way back in 2020 or something. So they were setting this up for 5 years for that, because they just knew Charlie was gonna get out of line. These agents, they just got lazy and decided to search these names hundreds of times in certain periods, from the Cayman Islands, from the District of Columbia, from DC, from Israel. All these agents everywhere, they just all got lazy.
His name Tyler James Robinson. I mean, yeah, it happens. I imagine it happens, and it happens.
He gave me the explanation I was expecting he was going to give me, but I was hoping for a better one. And if you'll notice with a lot of these guys, man, they don't ever get any pushback on any of their videos. Their super chats are all just Just, I mean, I get it, I guess, but no pushback, like none. Like nobody wants to go, hey man, I think those are tea bags. They look a lot like tea bags. Or, hey man, I don't know, dude. Mikey McCoy's like pretty good Christian kid. I can't imagine that he would be part of murdering his best friend or his mentor or whatever you want to call him. Probably viewed him as kind of a bigger brother, I would imagine. Like nobody's pushing back on that. Nobody's going, hey, wait a minute. This doesn't seem okay. Like this seems a little too far-fetched, right? We got baseball signal guy. Nobody's pushing back. Just running with it for fun. You're just gonna completely harass and feed into people doing this shit. These guys are gonna feed into the hysteria so bad somebody's gonna get hurt. Because there are crazy people on the internet, and the more they feed this, the more fun they're having, the more they're going to be part of the cause of some terrible shit that will come from this. That's why I said, at what cost, man? Was it jealousy that caused you to abandon your friend when he was shot? These are real people. These are real comments on this kid's Instagram. Who was on the phone when you walked away from Charlie instead of helping him? What the hell was he supposed to do? It's unreal. What? God's vengeance is far worse than anything, and it's coming one day. We don't know, but we know. You will be held accountable for your despicable actions in this life and after. If you weren't guilty, all of Turning Point USA would be looking into all the blatantly obvious incongruencies. No excuses. We know what to look for now. You won't get away with this. I think all of these guys need to take a really big step back, and they need to look and see what is happening. Valhalla, Baron, Ian, Jesse on fire. I think they really need to look and see what is going on and what this could potentially turn into. And they need to start being more responsible. They have giant audiences. Real quick though, I do want to give a shout out to Piper. It's at Piper_truth1 over on X. Them and Jane Doe are they are just a wealth of information. They will find anything you need on the Charlie Kirk topic and probably a lot of other topics. I just asked Piper if she could find me a couple of videos, and no problem. She found them super quick. I think it's a she. I think. Could be wrong, but I'm just assuming. My bad, Piper, if you're not a she. So anyway, just quick shout out to Piper and to Jane Doe This whole Project Constitution, that'll be another one. I'm so tired of seeing Project Constitution everywhere. This dude's the biggest grifter of them all. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.